All right, guys, welcome back. So it turns out I have everything I need to proceed with this guy. I was able to, so as I told you earlier in the other video, I had gotten this size by mistake, this size tube, when I really needed this size. So I had built this rotor housing with this shaft in mind. But I was able to 3D print a sleeve that fits perfectly in there. I mean, this came out beautifully. It fits perfectly in there and it's balanced nice. And then the correct size carbon fiber shaft goes in there, which then will allow me to put this brass tube inside that guy. And I have these really powerful magnets, these two big ones here on the end, which fit perfectly on this, which will butt up against this, which will allow me to make a maglev using a point on the end of this instead of the ball bearing. I still may choose to print out a sleeve that'll butt up against that and still use the ball bearing. But I have the option because I already have the magnets. Let me put these back. Oh, yes. And I'm going to use, instead of using the new base that I put together, which I really don't like, I'm going to use this base from the old one. And I'm going to start putting together the larger ring magnet. One will sit on this end, the other one will sit right here. I already have a bolt in there for adjusting, and I'm going to make this the same length as the other one. I think it was, what was it, 8 inches, 6 inches? I forgot, but it's going to be tight. It's not going to be long like this. Yeah, but that came out beautifully. And I'm going to put the magnets in the way I talked before. Hold on a second. So I've got these guys, these monster 4-inch magnets, and I'm going to find the poles, and instead of putting them on the outside, north, south, which actually wastes a lot of it wastes for the poles because they're facing inward and they don't do anything. Instead of doing that, I'm going to go north, south, south, north, north, south, south, north, and create 4 super poles. Or what I could do is go north, south, north, south, north, south, north, and create 8 poles. Because these fit in there really snugly, but snug enough, I can experiment around and change it out. All right, sorry for the interruption. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm going to use this base. I'm pretty sure I can use this base. It already has mounting holes for the permanent housing, and then I've got the adjustable one. And I really only need the one screw. I could put another one in here just to make it a little bit more stable. But yeah, I'm ready to go. Now I have to cut plexiglass or acrylic. I've got the 1/2 inch acrylic. This is 3/8 here, I think, but I have the 1/2 inch. I think that's why I wanted to use the other one because it's thicker, but I don't think I need to. Because this is sturdy enough, I think I just need to make sure that the base is sturdy. And I took a look at Sky, the way he sets his up, and I may change how I do mine as far as the design. Because mine has always been an L shape, which makes a lot of sense to me. But I think I'd rather do a T shape with supports on either side. Anyway, stay tuned. All right, so the red is north. So we've got a super north, a super south, a super north, and a super south. I'm really interested in actually turning these around at one point so it goes north, south, and it chases itself around. And again, instead of making the poles outward and inward, because I'm actually losing. And I think Magnus mentioned that to me one time. But yeah, I'm actually wasting a couple of poles there, 4 poles actually. So yeah, and these were a lot tighter to get in than I liked, but it still works really well. And then this guy goes in there like that. And we've got to, oh, and I've got to put, I forgot, I got to put my sleeve on there. Protective sleeve so that for some bizarre reason they explode. I don't think they will. But yeah, now I got to cut acrylic. All right, stay tuned. All right, guys, so some of the tough stuff's done. I got that guy in there. I already showed you that. I finally, so the acrylic that I bought this time is a little bit different than the stuff I usually get. I mean, it's still really nice, but it cuts really weird. But it still cuts okay on the bandsaw. And so this is going to be one of the end caps. And I'm still debating on how I'm going to do it. If I'm going to do it the way I always do it, or do it kind of like a, how can I explain it? Instead of just doing an L, like right now, I would tie a piece in there and bolt it here, which is what I'm probably going to do. But I don't know if I should do a triangle piece that has a slit in it right here and right here. But then that means I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to modify the 3D printed part, which is not a big deal, but I really don't want to. I think I'm going to stick with the way I normally do it. But I think I'm going to do a bigger base back there. So I'll probably cut 2 of these and mount them one on top of the other. And it will obviously be, I think, a little bit shorter than that. It'll be something like this. Yeah, so I still got some more cutting to do. Stay tuned. So we're over here at my bandsaw and my grinder. What I've done was I've marked a 45-degree angle on there, and I'm going to try to hold it to that as I spin this to grind a 45-degree point on there. Let you know how it works out. Stay tuned. Well, that was actually really simple. Come on, focus you. I don't want to make a super point on it, but I think that'll work. Put one on both ends. Should be good to, oh, come on, you focus, you son of a bitch. Anyway, you guys can see it. So that worked out really well. There it goes. See it? And again, I don't want it to be too pointy, so I think I'm even going to dull that up a little bit. But yeah, this is going to work out good. Stay tuned. All right, so this is what I was kind of thinking. See if I can get close. So the magnet will be supported by this guy here. And then, so it'll be one solid piece inside the carbon fiber tube. Now it's a choice between either that magnet or one of these bigger ones. I think if I had 2 of the larger ring magnets together, I could get away with one of these big ones. But I think this will be too big. Worst case, I mean, I'm going to test this before I even put it all together. Worst case scenario is I can try this one. If it doesn't work, I use the bigger one. But now I'm thinking maybe I should redesign, don't you do that, redesign this to hold 2 ring magnets. But I don't think, let me put this back before I get whacked with it. I don't think this is so heavy that, oh, you know what? Yeah, maybe I do need to do that. It'd only be a matter of reprinting this and making this extrusion twice as high. And then sorry, I shut the video off. Then I can do the double magnets. Raising this up, I think that's where I left off, because this is kind of heavy. It's actually really heavy. Oops, there's all those magnets. Put it next to metal, that's what happened. I don't know why my video keeps shutting off on me. My recording every time, yeah, it keeps shutting off. It's really weird. Anyway, I have to cut a couple more pieces of acrylic, but what I want to do is I want to 3D print a sleeve that'll go over this, kind of like this, if I can get it out, kind of like this, where it'll push up against that and maybe even print a ring for the other side really tight. So let me get over to Fusion and take a look. Stay tuned. All right, so I'm here at the 3D printer, and this is what I've come up with. And I think it's gonna, come on, I think it's gonna work really well because the tolerances are so tight. I really don't even need to put glue on there, but I will. But yeah, I've got the ring that goes up against the, come on, that goes up against the carbon fiber tube, the magnet, oh, come on, and then another support piece, and then this will go up against the glass, or whatever I'm going to use as a backing plate. So right now I'm printing out a new one of these, but with a taper on the end, so the transition will be smooth, just because it'll look nicer. Yeah, stay tuned.